All right. Hello, chat. How's it going? We're back. We're playing, what are we playing? Ace Combat X. That's what we're playing. Just working on the second run still. I think we were pretty deep in, though. And, what's it? Doing the plane masteries. Getting medals. All the Ace Combat.
Machine, son.
100% things that you would expect. And I may be a minute late, maybe. But there's a good reason for that. I had to grab something from the car. Like, right as I was about to start, I realized that I needed to run out to the car and grab something. You know why? I needed to go grab something. Do you know why? Hold on, I'm stalling a tiny bit. Do you know why, chat? It's because today, in particular, I'm feeling Chole. That's why. Hold on, I have to actually start a timer for this. Hold on. There. We ever gonna play a game that isn't planes, robots, or zombies? Yes. Not today, though. Or tomorrow. But I think the day after that. So, today's Tuesday? Thursday. And also, on Saturday... Oh, I guess... Does Resident Evil... Shit, Resident Evil is zombies. I was gonna say, for your information, on Saturday, we played Resident Evil. But no, that would fall under the zombie category, wouldn't it? For now. And you guys can't see because of course you can't. Hold on, there it is. Waiting for that next Yakuza stream. I didn't say what it was on Thursday. It's just not planes, robots, or zombies. That's the official word. "65 days of Ace Combat as punishment? For who? For you? I don't think so. For me? Maybe. Although X has been great so far. Well, for the most part. Whoa. For the most part. Do not get it twisted. It has not all been glamorous so far. But it's been mostly good so far. On the 100%. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, I already bought those specials? Why? Oh, and I bought the MIG specials too? Why did I not have... Whatever. See the YouTuber that started that candy brand sour strips? Sold the company to Hershey's? Is it called Sour Strips? Who founded it? I don't know if I'm familiar. Who started it? Is it this guy? Max Tuning? Not Sour Boys. No, there's a lot of YouTuber candy, right, like these days. So I was like, wait a minute, what? Just to make sure we're all on the same page, what YouTube sour candy are we talking about? Exactly.
We have obtained intelligence that LASAF forces on the Kalana steppes are increasing by the hour. With the Sachana Air Base in our hands, LASAF has abandoned its
Celsius's orange flavor is kind of nice.
However, the enemy is concentrating ground troops near these ruins.
A 9-figure check? Wait, how much did Hershey buy them for? What the fuck? 9 figures?
This threat could prove to be costly later on. It would be
You're
best to
shitting me.
take action now and be rid of this threat once and for all.
Or are you just, you know, saying figuratively speaking? Hypothetically speaking. What plane am I working on right now? Oh, we had to do one more in the fish bed. Literally at 99% done on this thing. I'll take the Sam's. Yeah. They're selling millions of bags of candy. I feel like that's something that not a lot of the YouTuber like candies and stuff are doing. Is like actually making those deals to get their candies like into big stores. I feel like they're all just online for the most part. But why is there so much YouTuber candy these days? Is it just because it's like easy to produce and it's not really reliant on your branding? Like, I wonder why that's such a big thing. Feels like it's becoming the new merch. Just make candy because it's easy. Yeah. I think that is genuinely like the main reason. Is just it doesn't seem like it's that hard to make a brand new candy. Holy shit. Assuming you've got the money to do it, that is. Oh, maybe I should have brought air to ground stuff. This is fine. I'm a professional pilot, chat. Don't even worry about it. Charlie is making a soap brand? No, he's not. That can't be real. Soap? Thank you for the 25 months, Ryan. Oh. Why does it feel like your membership just renewed, or am I crazy? Am I crazy? Making junk food is a smart decision. I feel like regardless of your audience age, it's like not that hard to make. You could just sell it to anyone. It doesn't really matter. Like, you don't even have to like use your YouTube brand to sell the product. Like, it's candy. You know, it's like anyone's gonna buy it. It's not like reliant on people liking you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I see a tank. Or no, just a bunch of AA guns and a SAM mixed in there. Shit. Shit. Oh, Prime. I've never tried Prime. I don't really have an interest in trying it either. I've heard very mixed things. Apparently it's just way too sweet. I feel like that's what I hear most when people talk about it. Everyone says that it's like way too sweet. Shit. Ooh. Would rather have vitamin water than Prime. I just drink water aside from like my one energy drink a day. I legitimately, like I just drink water all day. I don't need anything else. I'm a water boy. Okay, can we, motherfucker. Okay, it's not working. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Love water. I have not drank enough of it today. I feel a little parched. trying to refrain from just like chugging it on camera. Trying to pace myself a bit. Man, it's hard to hit the tents with the machine gun, actually. Oh god, why am I holding the afterburner? I'm distracted. I'm flying distracted. You're not supposed to do it. Does drinking water count as like distracted driving? Probably not, right? Maybe? I don't know. There we go. Get you a jug for that chug? Like Fortnite? Oh god. We got a #1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down. Get down. Oh god. What the fuck? Did that just come back around to chase me again, or was that a second one? I wasn't looking at my radar. Did it like loop around on me? What happened? Oh god. Why do targets keep spawning? I guess it's an annihilation mission. Bro knows the lyrics? Of course I know the lyrics. That song was inescapable. And it's also a banger. You know exactly what I mean. You hear that shit? That's stuck in your head all day. That Sony will likely own FromSoft. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a big jumping the gun moment right there. All that is happening so far is that Sony is looking to acquire their parent company. It's not like they are about to own like it maybe is happening. They're thinking about it as of right now, which realistically just means they're trying to cut a deal, but said company is probably playing hardball with them because, I mean, they have good reason to. Come on now. Line her up. I fucking hope that they don't acquire FromSoft. Genuinely. I know that Sony will pull some bullshit. I got no trust in modern Sony. Especially with the PSN, man, I really hope that they don't. I didn't even, like, until now, I wasn't even really thinking about, like, the PSN restrictions they've been doing and everything, too. Oh, that would be so shit to have that applied to FromSoft's games. That would be so bad. Because, like, obviously it doesn't affect me, but I think that the PSN restrictions have made all recent Sony games unplayable in, like, what's it, 170 countries? I could go and pull it up on, like, SteamDB. It's actually really easy to go and get the list. Because if you just go and look at their packets on SteamDB, the, like, Steam backend archiving site, you can just straight up see the list of all countries that they have excluded from the sales listing. Microsoft would struggle, but Sony would do it. I feel like FromSoft is a studio that just needs to not like sign with any big console publisher or anything. I think FromSoft just would be better off doing their own thing. Legitimately. Okay, come here. Booyah. They have the money to. Yeah, I don't think they need to sign with anyone, and I hope that they don't. Because really, like, as much as, you know, getting bought out by a big publisher is a big deal and everything, and it's kind of just a necessary thing in the industry right now, if you can avoid it, you're better off avoiding it. Shit. I dove when I was way too close to the ground and couldn't correct it. Might actually get a technically good game from FromSoft that actually runs well. No, never. Well, let me go to SteamDB and show you guys the thing. Actually, I think Pirate Software did this recently. But you guys remember all the drama with Helldivers and them making that game unplayable in like 170 countries? That went beyond Helldivers, and they also haven't stopped doing it. So hold on. Check this out. Right? It's 174. No, 3 countries. 3 countries. Christ above. They aren't going to stop. Yeah, that's a problem. That's something that we need to not just be like, oh well. Because look at this. Here. This is the list of all the countries / territories / whatever that Sony is explicitly not selling their games in. This is straight from Steam's backend. I just pulled up God of War Ragnarok. I didn't even go for Helldivers or anything. I went for just a pure single player game. That's it. This game has no multiplayer functionality whatsoever. Yet Sony, for some reason, is really pushing for this thing where they're only selling their games in countries that have PSN, like, officially supported. This is the list of countries pirating. No, this is the list of games or countries that they will not sell the game in. This is from their Steam package. This is from the Steam backend on God of War Ragnarok. This is the same list that currently, like, all of their games have. If you go to any of them, they will have this list. Hold on. We could go for... What? Oh, Horizon. Yeah, let's go for... Is the Horizon remaster on here? Is Zero Dawn Complete Edition the remaster? Or is this the one that they just delisted? The remaster isn't on Steam. That's the one... Sorry, hiccup. That's the one they just delisted. So let's do Forbidden West. If you go to their packages and you just open this up. Oh, wait. Hold on. Did they not do it for this game? Oh. They have it for some countries, but I guess Horizon's actually safe right now. Aside from if you live in some parts of the Middle East, I guess. Like, that one's a little weird. Forbidden isn't mandatory PSN. It doesn't matter if it's mandatory PSN. God of War Ragnarok doesn't have the mandatory PSN. It doesn't have it. They're just not selling the games in any country that PSN isn't in. Because they're shifting to do that now, at least on Steam, and obviously on the digital storefront on PlayStation. The same thing applies there, because you can't access their digital storefront in those countries. So it's no different. But at least on Steam, they are explicitly excluding that giant list of countries. Not because of a PSN requirement, just because. For some reason. It's very strange. What other new games have they put out on PC lately? Because it's a newer thing they've been doing as of this year. I went to Ragnarok because that was the last PC port they put out. Any help, chat? Any help? Stop complaining. Mikkel, with all respect possible, I think you're missing the entire conversation. You can get Horizon from GOG and bypass Sony. Do they sell it on GOG? Do they sell Horizon on GOG? Actually? That would really... They do. Is it still being sold or did they delist this? Chat, if you want the original Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, go to GOG before Sony realizes that they didn't delist it. Hurry. Hurry, chat, hurry. Before they realize that they missed it. That's awesome. I don't know why you would specifically want the original, considering the... I guess, well, as of right now on PC, you just can't buy Horizon Zero Dawn because they delisted it. For 50 bucks? Yep. Spider-Man 2's not on PC yet, which is really odd. But stuff like that has made me like Sony even less in their more modern business moves. Where it's like, for their new games, whether or not they have an online component whatsoever, they're just going out of their way to exclude any country that PSN doesn't operate in. Because they want to, I guess. For some reason, Sony is intentionally not conducting business in 170 countries post Helldivers 2 drama. Ghost is on PC. Yeah, Ghost is too early because it started this year. That's why I went for Ragnarok. Country restrictions suck, and there's no reason with like God of War Ragnarok and stuff like that, right? There's legitimately no reason for them to block so many countries and territories. And like one of the funnier things, I should have pointed it out on the list while I had it up, but like obviously Sony still sells their games in the US, but any like US territory, they don't. So like, you can buy God of War Ragnarok right now on Steam in the United States. But if you live in like Puerto Rico, get fucked. They don't sell it there anymore. Because they decided not to, I guess. Oh. They don't sell if you live in Vatican City. You can really look through that list and it's just kind of like, it's genuinely mind-boggling. It makes no sense. Like for a game with no PSN requirement, for them to just not sell it in all those countries is weird. It's almost just like intentionally spiteful, right? Is it just me? Am I looking too much into this? Or like, why? And obviously, it got them in so much shit this year when they did it to Helldivers 2. Like, they legit killed, or at least damn near killed Helldivers 2 with it, just by doing this shit. After the insane success of Helldivers 2, they managed to nearly kill it by doing this exact thing. It's bizarre. Winning the console war? Mikkel. What are you even yapping about? How is this like, oh, you're mad at Sony because they're winning the console war? What? I'm not even talking about their online subscription at all. I can't tell if it's a joke. I really sincerely hope it is and that I'm just the one who's like r/whoosh right now. Because, what? The bait is working on the streamer instead of chat. Oh god. And I think that Pirate Software did like a whole video talking about that a bit ago. Because it's just wild. There's legitimately no reason for it. Seems to prefer pissing off their players over getting more money. It's just, I mean, in general, I haven't understood a lot of Sony's recent business decisions. Like, we could just talk about the PS5 Pro again. I won't, but we could. Ooh. I'm gonna try not to die, first and foremost. It's a really sweet machine. It's a really, like, it's cool if you are the one in like 500 players, if even, who that system is made for. But like, it's bad, in my opinion, when you even have like John from Digital Foundry right now going on podcasts to talk about it. I watched him on the, what was it? He was on the Friends Per Second podcast this week, which is Ralph from Skill Up, Jake Baldino from Game Ranks. It's their podcast. Lucy, who's been all over the industry. I don't even know what she's doing right now, to be honest with you. She might be between things. I don't know. But he was on their podcast this week just to talk about the PS5 Pro for like an hour. And he was even like, yeah, it's cool, but like, I don't really think I can recommend it to just about anyone. Like, unless you are as big of a nerd for this stuff as I am, it's really hard to actually recommend that you buy one of these. Cool. And he said something pretty similar to what I've been saying like the whole time, pretty much since it got announced, where it's like, this is a console that is such a marginal improvement. Like, it wasn't needed. And the console generation also only has like 3 years left. So you're buying that just to replace it in 3 years. And he basically said, like, if you already have a PS5, there's not much reason to get it. And if you are looking to get a PS5 this late in the lifespan, you should just get the cheaper one, because overall the value is so much better, and the Pro doesn't really offer enough to justify spending the extra $200 right now. In some games it's a big improvement. Yeah, it's just for $200 extra, not even including the disc drive. And granted, if you are lucky enough to live in the United States, because that's where it's a $200 increase. Anywhere else, it's more of an increase. It's just, it's hard to justify that system. Or PSSR having issues. It's not even that. He was basically just saying, like, this is a console that has so little reason to exist. Like, not even just to exist in the first place, but even if you're a consumer looking to buy a PS5, you should really just buy the base PS5. And I bring his opinion up because it's John from Digital Foundry. Like, if anyone was going to be saying this is the coolest thing ever, it was going to be him. Because if you don't know Digital Foundry somehow, and you're in my chat, their whole thing is like console technology and performance discussions. They get into PC as well, but they're very console focused. He does like it. Yeah, he said that he likes it, but that he can't recommend it to people. Like, that was the takeaway, was that he likes it. He thinks it has some positives. It's not like it's just the worst thing ever by any means, but it's just something that he couldn't really find a reason to like recommend it to anyone. Boosh, boosh. I got an ad for an ad block. I'm pretty surprised that YouTube would let ad blocks run ads right now, given how much they're trying to crack down on them. Didn't even have the setup for the Pro. How many people are playing on a 50+ inch HDR, VRR, 4K TV? Yeah, that's a whole other thing to get into, is just like, oh, I flew right into that. The amount of other things outside of the Pro that you need to actually get the benefits of the Pro is kind of wild. Tom, did you actually get Nebula done that fast? I guess once you're down to like Afterlife and Nebula, it goes really fast. What are the... I know the Nebula challenge because Mikkel told me. What's the Afterlife challenge? What do you have to do? Have removed the option to turn autoplay off on PC. Have they actually? Wait a minute. Did they do that? I never noticed. Oh. 20 kills without being hit 10 times? That's easy as fuck. Bro, you guys want to know what I have to do now on my my current camo grind venture? It's a Warzone one. The challenge itself, it's on the XM4 in Warzone. It's supposed to be, like, the way that it's worded and the way that it's intended to work, it's bugged right now, spoiler. It's supposed to be getting 5 kills while under a UAV. So literally just, there's a UAV up in the sky revealing your position to someone. That's enough for, like, if you get kills during that, you get camo progression. Which sounds like a pain in the ass, but it's only 5 kills, and you'd kind of be surprised, like, once you're waiting for UAVs to go up, you realize that a lot more of them go up than you think in Warzone, right? Because there's an indicator on your minimap that shows you there's a UAV above you revealing your location. So it's not that bad, except it's currently bugged to where you have to get kills on the exact enemy team who currently has a UAV above you revealing your location. I have played like 6 matches of Warzone into the late circles using the XM4, getting like 8-9 kills a game. And I have 0 of 5 so far. I think I'm just gonna wait for them to patch it and do something else in the meantime at this point. I was gonna tough it out because I was like, okay, it's bugged, but it's not that bad. No, it's that bad. It's awful. Sony's had an absolutely shit track record this year. And yet I'm currently seeing people cheer over the possibility of them buying FromSoft because of the marginal possibility increase of Bloodborne 2. Yeah, I think that's the main reason that people are like looking forward to it. Aside from just, what's it? Like the few remaining console war guys actually just being excited because that's big for them if they get like FromSoft as an exclusive studio. They did release a patch, don't know if it was included. No, I looked at the patch notes and it was like 4 fixes for Warzone and it was all super minor stuff. So unless they like stealth patched it, it's probably still bugged. Because I saw the patch like show up, I saw the patch notes fly by on Twitter and I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, they might have fixed it. maybe I can actually do the XM4, but no. At least it's not mentioned. There are 3 guns in the game that have that challenge. And just, ugh. I hate it. I think it's the XM4, the Tonto, and the XMG, I want to say, are the ones that have it. I don't know if that's 100%, but I think that's right. Missed out on all the good bugged camos in multiplayer. Yeah, dude, multiplayer camos were buggy as shit at first. And in a good way. Like, you were getting camo completions before you were supposed to because of some multiplayer bugs at launch. Because you just know they'll F everything up somehow. Maybe not everything, but I think FromSoft just deserves to be independent. Well, not independent. They obviously have a parent company, but they were moving towards self-publishing. And I think that was the best move for them. I would hate to see them get swept up under the Sony umbrella right as they finally were getting to be self-published. Because if you didn't know, they, well, they still have a relationship with Bamco, but they, they ended their publishing deal with Bamco this year in terms of, like, future titles. They were going to start self-publishing from now on. I think the deal officially ended in, like, August, I want to say, was when that ended. They are officially, like, out of it. So to see them immediately get swept up by Sony would be unfortunate, in my opinion. I think FromSoft moving towards self-publishing was genuinely a great idea. Like, that was just only a positive going forward. But we'll see. Sony already owned 15%. Owning 15% of their shares is very different from actually being their publisher. Like, night and day different. When you own a large bulk of shares like that, the most authority over them that you have is that if you disagree with them, you can just threaten to sell off your shares and leave. As a publisher, you can deny to release or fund the game if you disagree with anything they're doing. Please don't hit me with a SAM. I'm begging you. No last second Sams for me today. Shit. Come on, fuel car. This is fine. Booyah. Timer sounds can be a scary thing, but this one was just a point threshold mission. May have just bought another 2 bundles.
Forces have been all but wiped out. For the time being, we can turn our
you guys, I get it. The ray gun bundle is cool, but you gotta stop.
It's good to see you made
You gotta stop. And I'm the COD shill. I'm supposed to be the COD shill in the chat. You guys gotta stop buying their bundles, man. Those things are like 20 bucks. You gotta calm down. I'm saving up for Master Chief. Oh, dude. Oh my god, wait, that's a genuine possibility. Halo Call of Duty crossover is an actual possibility now. Microsoft owns both. Also, I've had these on like the whole time. The timer didn't audibly go off. I know I started it. Now it's bright in here. Seems like Ace is going pretty well. It's going pretty well. Fishbed was
Citizen morale is
at least better than the A10 and the F1 and stuff.
Forming throughout the country, all thanks to your heroic deeds, sir. Our beloved Aurelia, shattered by the LASAF assault, is struggling to once again become one. We must not let them down.
For like 49 minutes,
With the destruction of the Never a Jammer, we have been able to ascertain
40.
the extent of enemy
40-ish.
action here in Monte Breeze. This area is littered with industrial complexes which LASAF appears to have refitted as weapons plants to manufacture something of great importance. Transport units have also shown a lot of recent activity. When the Never a Jammer was destroyed, they abandoned the operation, taking everything with them. It seems that they have also rigged the factories with explosives in order to hide what went on there. There is no doubt that whatever they made, it was important. We must shoot down all transport aircraft and put an end to whatever the enemy is plotting.
I can do that. Yeah, there's a ton of aircraft that I can purchase right now. Oh wait, what's the... What the fuck is that? It kind of... It's growing on me a little bit, but I don't know how I feel about this one. All right, Mirage time. Let me run the classy colors. Oh my god, it has no air-to-air. Okay. It's Pops? Is it? They added Legacy XP tokens? Yeah. After everyone was pissed at them. Ooh. This thing feels a lot better. French Dorito. Why is this guy spiraling so hard? Just let me shoot you. Ooh. Okay, that one caught me off guard. I guess I just never got like a clear look at Pops's MiG in the last game. In Zero. Because I didn't recognize it at all. I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh god. There. Have to do them one after the other. I feel like I'm sitting here doing the BO6 camo grinds. And I'm just like, oh, this is so nice and casual and easy. And then I hear Tom and Mikkel complaining about how inconvenient it is. And I'm like, huh? I genuinely, someday I have to get my BO4 Dark Matter on PC, and I don't want to do it, but I should do it. My PC account needs Dark Matter. Just grinding at it like a motherfucker. If I was purely playing zombies, I feel like I could be like done or close to done by now with how much BO6 I've played with friends since it came out. And that's saying something, because I've really only played like an hour or two a day. I can't grind like I used to. But like, just considering how much progress I've made on MP, and like yesterday, you know, streaming zombies, I got like a gun and a half done in just that little 3-hour like chilled yapping stream, because it goes so fast. And even one of those guns was the GS45. And I'm not even doing all the efficient stuff. Like, I'm not really saving and quitting, aside from I did a bit yesterday when I thought there was some bugged tracking, and there was some bugged tracking happening. But to fix that, I did a little bit of it. And then, what's it? Oh yeah, I'm not like only playing Liberty Falls. I've actually mostly been playing Terminus. I feel like it just doesn't take that long to do this year. And it's also just so chill. Like, for the most part, aside from a couple challenges, it's basically just play the game like normal and you will get the camos as long as you're using this gun. God damn it. God damn it. It's not like it used to be. Silent Hill 2 wasn't nominated for Game of the Year. It wasn't. And I'm maybe like the only Silent Hill fan who is not upset over it. I don't know. It's just, I didn't really expect it to get nominated. I love Silent Hill 2. I didn't think it was going to get nominated. Especially, like, Jeff Keighley always, if you ever hear him talk about, like, the Game of the Year category specifically, he always talks about how he wants to showcase games that are, like, pushing the industry forward through, like, innovation and creativity and all that. And, like, the Silent Hill 2 remake is super fun. I loved it. But it's Silent Hill 2 just with worse pacing. So, like, based on what they typically are trying to showcase with that category, at least according to what Jeff says, I feel like it just doesn't really fit the bill. You know? How did a card game get picked over Silent Hill 2? Innovation and creativity. Black Myth Wukong is super revolutionary. Look, I'm not saying that I agree with every nomination. I'm just saying, I probably wouldn't have nominated SH2 either. Like, looking at it the way that he looks at it. What happened that time? I had a stealth plane on me, apparently. Next day's combat is 6? Yes. After this is 6. Dragon Age Veilguard over Black Myth. Whoa, 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 whoa. I haven't played either. However. Also, Stellar Blade. I haven't changed on Stellar Blade. I think the game looks very solid. But, like, Game of the Year? I don't know. Then again, I would say the same about Wukong, to be fair. But also with Stellar Blade, I'm a bit more picky with like action games. I'm a bit spoiled by having played just the best and gotten really into them. Oh yeah, did Infinite Wealth get nominated for anything? I didn't even think about that until just now. How are you gonna stream AC6? Just off of Xbox. I have a capture card. I just prefer emulation for like resolutions and frame rates and stuff. That's all. I'm sure I'll love it either way. He just said it disappointed him. Yeah, that's kind of like a lot of, not all by any means, but a lot of Final Fantasy fans said similar things about Rebirth. Not that like it's bad necessarily, but just that it was either underwhelming or just not what they were really hoping for. I heard a lot of that from Final Fantasy fans this year. Underwhelming, like relative to the first remake, that is. Oh, laser beam. I think either Astrobot or Metaphor are gonna win out of the nominees. Infinite Wealth was nominated for Best Narrative. Oh, okay. I could see that. Even just from the early Yakuza games that I've played, those stories are pretty good, except for like some things in Yakuza 2 are really, really... I've already vented about Yakuza 2 and like the few plot points that I was just like, what the actual fuck? It's all in the review in the spoiler section. I won't do it. I'll do a backflip if Astrobot wins. Just gonna save that screenshot. Don't mind me. Gonna archive that. Thank you. There we go. No. If chat, you heard it here. If Astrobot wins, Tomfoolery has to learn how to do a backflip. It's official. You heard it. You heard it here. I shouldn't have shot so early. Oh wow, he actually just didn't evade it. Hold on. This is almost definitely a part right here. Yep. I've learned. I've played enough ACX to figure it out. Oh my god, the train is dying. What the fuck? Like, really dying. Oh no, that's just the progress to the factory. Oh, okay. Looking into getting a trampoline. Tom. I need a backflip video if Astrobot wins. Just so we're on the same page. So you're aware. I'm expecting it. Trampoline or not. Oh, that didn't destroy it? Oh, shit. Aha!
Look, he completely destroyed the factory. All of our weapons are going to be destroyed too. Is this thing going faster? Hit the gas. We gotta get to one of those factories.
Hit the gas.
Crisis 1. Things have just gotten worse. The Liberation
They should port it to Xbox and PC so everyone can play it. I feel like it's one of those games that won't ever get ported, despite Sony's whole, like, we want to port everything shtick they've been on. I don't think that one will get ported. I feel like that and Astro's Playroom are just gonna stay on PS5. Like, I genuinely think that by the end of the generation, those will be the only two true PS5 exclusives. F. That was painful. I'm almost 100% breaking my neck if I go for the backflip. No, surely you get it like a YouTube video, and I mean, that's how you learn anything, right? You'll probably just slowly ease into it. There's probably like a progression to it, I would assume. Unless it really is just like, try to do this thing that I explain and just huck it. Go for it. I'm assuming it's not that. But maybe it is. I don't know. It's like me learning last year and like training to do handstand push-ups. I didn't just fucking throw myself into a handstand and start doing push-ups like that. It's not how it worked at all. It was a slow like build and progression towards it. Feels like it would be. Yeah, as soon as I said it, I'm like, maybe a backflip would just be, yeah, I can explain this to you, but you just kind of got to do it. There we go. Indica made the list. Oh, God. For best indie? Oh, games for impact? I could see that. I could see that at the very least. I thought it was just going to be best indie, and I was like, what? Up there with things like Balatro? Hell no. Absolutely not. My fat ass is not doing a flip. Tom. Listen. Flips are all about weight and momentum. So I think you got it, actually, because it really, well, I guess how well you can jump is maybe a factor. Doing it just on the ground probably is a factor. But like the rotation and everything, even if you're fat, that's not a problem. Legitimately. Just genuinely not a problem. It's all about throwing your weight around anyway. Didn't make best indie? Bro. Did you see the indie games that came out this year? Like, hello? There were so many indies this year, a lot of them that did get nominated for best indie, that are like on my list of, man, I wish I had more time to play this shit. Because I really want to play this shit. Especially Balatro. Particularly Balatro. Yes, please. Haven't heard of Animal Well. False is in, like, the indie horror bubble. If it's a horror indie game, she's heard of it. Other indies are hit or miss. Maybe she's heard of it. Animal Well is 100% on my list too. That game looks awesome. You have plenty of time if you got off the AC games. Hey, listen. Listen.
Testing. Soldiers of Laseth, can you hear us? We are the Aurelian Liberation Corps.
If Indica does win that category, I can see some religious people getting very mad. They shouldn't. Like, the thing... Look, chat. As someone who is Christian, I know, believe it or not, it typically comes as a shock to people. You can be Christian and also recognize and acknowledge that the Christian church, in both its modern iteration and its history, is pretty fucked up and has done a lot of really dark shit. Like, you can acknowledge that. It's fine. You're not going to hell for acknowledging that. You're not. You're perfectly fine to bring up the shitty, fucked up things that people do, especially when using God as like a sort of leverage to allow themselves to do it. You're, as a Christian, kind of obligated to bring it up and call it out. But lots of people don't feel that way. I know. It's, like, ironically, it's because of the church. Ooh. Oh, God. Nine Souls was absolutely robbed though, bro. I don't know how Nine Souls didn't get nominated. I'm with everyone else on that. I don't know why the fuck Nine Souls is not on that list. Cause like that is on my list of indie games that came out this year that look really fucking awesome and I need to play them at some point. I'm pretty sure it's not emulated. It's native. I was just talking about it yesterday. The MVC Fighting Collection is genuinely one of the best game preservation collections I've ever seen. Like, it runs native. It preserves the actual arcade edition of the games while also carrying over like major quality of life editions or bug fixes or whatever from other versions. They added rollback netcode. They added ranked play. They added frame data. They added a whole goddamn training mode. Those games never had training mode because they were actual arcade games, like arcade machines. Legitimately, the MVC collection is one of those collections where not only did they compile a bunch of classic and beloved games, but they also made it so that every single game in that collection, that is now the best version of that game to play. Like, you can't get a better version of that game anywhere else. And that's rare these days. Like, incredibly rare when it comes to legacy collections, which is why I think a lot of people are having like a knee-jerk reaction to it and saying that it shouldn't be there. But like, legitimately, it's really, really damn good. Wikipedia says MVC2 is emulated, actually. I don't believe it is. Oh, God. MVC fans need this W. It's not gonna win best fighting game. To be clear, Tekken 8 is gonna win. But it getting nominated is cool. But best fighting is one of those categories where I feel like, actually, to be fair, Sparking Zero could maybe win. It shouldn't, in my opinion, as a big fighting game nerd. And I love Sparking Zero. Tekken 8 deserves it more. But Sparking Zero might win just because it was such a phenomena in a way that Sparking Zero wasn't when it came, or sorry, that Tekken 8 wasn't when it came out. Although Tekken 8 was really big too when it came out. That game did way bigger numbers than I ever expected it to. But Sparking Zero was a phenomena when it came out. So maybe. Wait, Multiversus got nominated? Did I miss that? Did I just look at the games that I liked and tunnel vision? Multiversus got a nomination. I'm not voting as I don't care. I'm not voting this year either. The votes don't matter for Game Awards. $10K points S rank. Oh, we're totally clear then. Okay. DMC games. Oh, sorry. You played all the DMC games. What do you think of Ninja Theory's reboot? I like the DMC reboot a lot. It's a lot of fun. The story's awful, but like that game's a lot of fun. Way overhated. Massively overhated. Especially nowadays, like they course corrected it and people still are on that game's shit. Uh-oh. I don't want to hear what Asmon has to say about it. I don't either. Asmon is a great voice of authority within like games industry and stuff like that. Specifically when it comes to MMOs. Outside of the MMO space, he misses way more than he hits, in my opinion. Since I've heard such good bro, the Yakuza show, I still need to finish it. I got up to episode 4. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Asmon borked Twitch? No, Asmon is just one part of it. Hassan is the biggest issue. Like, literally, the primary ad agency that has pulled out of Twitch recently with their whole adpocalypse that's going on, the only streamer that he named, like specifically named, was Hassan. Hassan is the biggest problem right now when it comes to Twitch's adpocalypse. If you don't know, like if you haven't heard about it, because outside of the content creation space, if you don't keep up super well, you might have just not heard about it. I did hear what Asmon said, but I'm just telling you, like, the guy who has kind of kicked this all off, the president of the largest and first ad agency to pull out, specifically named Hassan as the reason that he was pulling out. The reason. Like, he told Twitch, you need to fix this shit or we're gone. And this shit was Hassan Piker. That is exactly what he was referring to.
Thankfully, we intervened before the rest.
He was talking about Hassan literally promoting terrorism on stream. That was the issue that they were pulling out because of.
They say too much knowledge can be a dangerous thing.
There are obviously a whole lot more issues on Twitch outside of Hassan right now that are probably also leading to other smaller agencies pulling out. But Hassan is the primary issue right now. The shit was clearly not fixed. Yeah, which is why they're having an adpocalypse. Which is why all the advertisers are pulling out of Twitch. I was talking about it with False this morning. It's actually really, like, Twitch is now in maybe the worst spot they've been in years because of this. Because they've essentially been put in a corner where their only options are to ban some of their largest creators, like Asmon and Hassan and other names that I could list them, but I won't. You can look into it. It's a whole, there's a list. There's a whole list. Their options are to either ban those people, remove those people's monetization so that ads don't run on their streams, but they can still be there if they choose to be, which they won't, but they could take that route. Or they lose the majority of their advertisers, which is obviously where the majority of the platform's revenue comes from. And we know that Twitch was already in the red. So That's really not an option for them. Is Destiny on Twitch? No, Destiny got permabanned like 2 years ago from Twitch. Where is Destiny right now? Is Tom still here? Where does he, because he did go to Kick, but he also got permabanned from Kick this year. Where is Destiny right now? Because he got perma'd from Kick back in July. Or sorry. Yeah, July. Oh wait, I didn't look at my kill rate. Sorry, I'm yapping too hard. How do you get permabanned from Kick? Oh man, I know the exact reason. Hold on. Let me...
Griswold is protected by the Atmos ring-powered meson cannon. Our troops will not be able to approach the city because of the MBSRs brought in from Montebrise. Our only hope is to send a small squadron of fighters in for a surprise attack and take out the cannon. Fortunately, the enemy has put all of their faith in the cannon and has yet to deploy ground troops. Destroy the meson cannon and the fighters protecting it, and the city is ours. The capital's liberation is finally within our grasp. Sir, please decide the course of action.
The reason that Destiny got perma'd from Kick is because after the attempted Trump assassination back in July, you know, there was the guy who was in the audience who got hit by a stray bullet and killed. He's live on Kick right now. They must have reversed it then. Anyway, he did, at least they said they were gonna get that he was perma'd, but maybe they reversed it. I don't know. Is he actually live on Kick right now? He got perma'd because after that happened, when it came up in his chat, because he's a politics streamer, he said something along the lines of like, yeah, fuck that guy. I don't care that he died. He deserved it for being at that rally. And obviously Kick is like the right-wing grift platform. So they banned him. They perma'd him. At least they said they perma'd him. He is live again.
And all the cases provide.
Oh, there's his voice. He's live right now. You're right. So I guess he's still on Kick. Jesus, yeah. Like, crazy. Honestly, they should have stood by it. I think that they probably reverted it because Kick's whole thing, like coming into the streaming space, was they wanted to poise themselves as like the free speech platform in the streaming space as compared to like YouTube or Twitch. So obviously banning someone for going against like your primary political leaning didn't look good for them. That's probably why they reverted it. Doesn't stand by anything. That's what they say. If you keep up with Kick at all, they are very, very right-wing oriented. They say that they're neutral and that they don't stand for anything, but that's just horseshit. Total horseshit. I hate Destiny, but I also love Destiny, and the game Destiny was pretty cool. I feel like Destiny, if I could... I feel like I would say that Destiny sits in about the same category as Asmongold for me. Where I'm like, the dude occasionally has a good take, but most of the time that I listen to him, it's just brain rot. Oh god. Ow! Ow! Lasers! Lasers everywhere. Oh my god. Lots of lasers. Like a broken clock. Yeah, every once in a while, like anyone will, you know, have good takes on things from time to time, even me. But I generally don't agree with either of them. Although I will say, even when I disagree with Destiny, I do find just the level of unhinged that he is at times to be a little entertaining. Almost just in the sense of like, how do you get away with this? Because sometimes he's insanely unhinged. Like unbelievably unhinged. That moment though, that I just mentioned, the one that got him banned for a bit, that one was just straight up like, whoa, what are we doing? Because it literally was him saying like, yeah, that guy and I don't agree politically, so fuck him, he should have gotten shot. That was when I was like, what did he say? It was one of those clips that you see and you're like, that can't be real, man. What the fuck? It can be tough for people to agree with him via random clips. I've seen a lot of Destiny over the years. And I do feel like if he wasn't quite so, what's the word I'm looking for? Asshole-ish in like his just way of explaining himself, he might fare a lot better, generally speaking. They're constantly calling for the death of people on the left, so he's not going to start crying when one guy dies. I've seen his take. It's more than that. His take was more just that the right has become so disgusting to him that he believes that that's what should have happened. Like, he believes that that is perfectly fine. He said he doesn't agree with political violence as a whole. You can say that, but after you say something like, yeah, fuck that guy, he deserved it, it doesn't show well. Right? It just looks like a backtrack. I would say even that was most likely just a backtrack after he got banned. That isn't what he said. There's a clip of him circulating like right now saying basically exactly that. So maybe it's out of context and he was saying it hypothetically, but it didn't seem like it. It was him on someone else's show talking about the ban. I couldn't tell you whose, to be honest. But like, I just saw it even within the last couple days go around again. I don't know why it went around again. Maybe just in the context of like the Twitch adpocalypse, it's probably going around again because of that. Political violence talks on streaming platforms. Kind of an issue for someone else right now. Sorry, Twitch. Twitch really should just take the route that YouTube takes, where like YouTube realizes that they are way too big to moderate everything on the platform, so they just turned off ads on anyone who isn't partnered. And partner, or to get monetized at all, because YouTube doesn't have an equivalent for the affiliate program. So that does, it just in terms of volume, make things harder for Twitch, to be fair. But, what's it? YouTube only manually approves people for monetization. They have no automatic process on the partner applications. It's all manual. And like right now, Dr. Disrespect, if I'm not mistaken, like unless something has changed within the last 2 weeks or so, streams daily on YouTube still, but YouTube refuses to monetize him. And even better, YouTube has actually just been blatantly wasting his time, which is kind of funny to me. Because YouTube keeps telling him like, yeah, try again in 3 months. And then he tries again and they deny him again. And they just keep giving him this hope like, oh yeah, maybe we'll think about it in 3 months. Try again. And then once it opens back up, they just deny him. It's actually been pretty funny. Okay, hold on, ad break. I need to take the lasers out first. I need to take the lasers out first. Am I streaming on Rumble? Hell no. Rumble's like the streaming retirement home. Well, actually, Rumble is like the Kick retirement home, I guess. Kick is like the streaming retirement home. If only. Oh. Destiny, to be fair to him, had a great moment this year in all the boogie shit. Like, just bringing all that to light and then, like, pushing him on it and not letting up at all at any point. That was some peak. Like, that was when I was like, yep, this guy has his moments. Because right now, I like this guy. The pecking order goes Rumble, Kick, Twitch, the dirt, the worms in the dirt, Mr. Popo's stool, Kami, Mr. Popo. Good reference. Ow, fuck. Yeah, Sanders did win his seat again this election. Unless is he in a recount? What state is he from? I always forget. What state is Sanders from? Isn't it like Connecticut or Vermont? I was gonna, it's like it's one of those small ones up in the northeast side of the US. I knew it was one of those. Unless there's a recount happening there, I think he did win his seat back again. Speaking of Bernie Sanders, you guys see that they let the other guy out, Mitch McConnell? You see him talking recently? Oh, come on now. Bernie's been too old since like the 90s. Bro, I've said it before. I don't know what kind of black magic they're using to keep Mitch McConnell going. But like, dude. How? To be fair to him, he didn't freeze up this time. So, that's good. Have you guys seen, someone in chat surely will know the guy I'm talking about, but there's a guy on like TikTok who started doing these funny ass impressions of like Mitch McConnell freezing up and like his inner monologue when it happens. And dude, it's wild. Not great against Mezen. It's working pretty great for me for the most part, unless I just have the worst lineup ever. Like, it's not free, right? I can't just zip by and fire it whenever and it will hit. It's not one of those, but it works pretty well. I haven't seen it, but it sounds hilarious. He like does the face and then he records a voiceover of like all the things that might be running through his mind in that moment. And it's like total full-blown parody, like exaggerative parody. Like, kind of the sort of things that I've said in the past about, like, how there must be some sort of vampiric ritual keeping him alive this long. Like, he's been in office since 1776, and they've been keeping him alive somehow. It's, like, super exaggerative, but it's very funny. Read my last comment. It's too far gone. Oh, it's way gone. Oh, the Rumble comment? No, hell no. I said Rumble is like the retirement home for Kick, and Kick is like the streamer retirement home. Just make of that what you will. This run is progressing. This run is progressing, albeit slowly because ACX ace difficulty with like the medium strength planes. But it's progressing. You can snipe them from a long distance. I wish this plane had them. Come on. Is Ace the hardest? Yeah. Brought up politics and people didn't start getting banned. Well, I mean, I'm pretty relaxed about politics. Here's the meme. Who has their bingo cards out? Who generated a Chole bingo card for the day? Because I'm neutral and I'm not like left or right, and I just actually, you know, take it in and make my own judgments on things. I have a good attitude about like joking about both sides. So unless you're just blatantly an asshole, then I'm cool with it. Already crossed it. Who has the Chole bingo cards going? Oh God. Oh, by the way, Atobio, you made the bingo card like generator, right? Because I'm probably gonna yoink that and use it for something. Smiley face. Gotta update the bingo cards. Eesh, 97. Reddit's gonna come for his ass now. You know, like in this chat, as long as you're just not an ass, it's fine. Because I mean, like right there. You know, I did a little Bernie joking. I did a little Mitch McConnell joking. It's whatever. Plus, with those two, I feel like even most people on either side of the U.S. politics spectrum, with Mitch McConnell or Bernie, are like, yeah, what? Who's keeping them in? How does this keep happening? I think I'm gonna die, chat. I'm not gonna lie, but we play these out. Oh, sweet Jesus, there's still a laser beam. Ah, the lock-on. I had it. I swapped it too fast. Chole mentioned he worked in game dev at any point. Not so far today, and no, that doesn't count. No, that doesn't count. Don't check it off too soon. If not, there will be quite a bit of scrolling. When I get to it, because I do have an idea for it, I think I'm just gonna do a whole channel for it. Please. False, are you here? False sent me her her heart rate on her watch, like her smartwatch, taking her heart rate, and it's high, and she just said, "Chole, please." Or Cole, please. I can't distinguish between Cole and Chole at this point. Oh, because we were saying Destiny too much. Did she say she was leaving and I missed it? That's beautiful. Don't worry, Chad. I can fix it. I can fix her. I definitely had nothing to do with it. No, nothing. What the fuck? She just said, "I gotta go." Beautiful. What's she doing? She's just at work. What happened? So we were talking about the streamer Destiny. False's first name, this is public knowledge. This isn't a dox or anything. False's first name is Destiny. So, what sort of development related jobs have you held in the past? Chat, this doesn't count because it's a question, right? Or we're all on the same page here, right? Like this is a legit question in chat, okay? This is a legit question. Totally counts? Nope. Nope. Doesn't count. If I'm just responding, the meme, like I'm assuming it's in reference to the meme of me bringing it up a lot. Me bringing it up is one thing, but if I'm answering a question like that, that doesn't count. To answer it though, I've held 2 positions in game design. Oh God. As a systems designer and executive producer. Executive producer is not as fancy as it sounds in the games industry, by the way, because it sounds really fancy. It sounds so fancy. It's really not. Systems designer is like game balance and systems design, like how all the various systems in the game interact with one another, stuff like that. Numbers, it's a lot of numbers. It's mostly numbers. But in games, I'm a big nerd for that shit, personally. What does it do? Executive producer is, in the games industry, it means that you're managing where the team's budget and like time is going and like resources. So legitimately, like my main thing, the budget came up once in a while. But the budget wasn't the biggest part because it's one of those things that like you kind of plan a few months at a time. At least it was where I was. Most of like the day-to-day on it was legitimately just logging into Jira, which is like if you've worked in tech, like in software development, you probably know Jira. But it's like a web platform where you set up like a whole network for everyone in your office, and everyone has like their assigned tasks on there. So there would be stuff like, you know, it's basically like a giant to-do list of everything that has to happen for the game, like tiny little tasks. You write it all out in there and you assign it to whoever needs to do it within this amount of time. You have sprints, which are traditionally 2-week periods in the industry. That's kind of standard. For us, it was every 2 weeks was a sprint. And it's just a period of time. It's a 2-week period where it's like you get your whole to-do list on Jira for that 2 weeks. And it's like by the end of these 2 weeks, you are expected to have all of this stuff done. Or if not, to at least have like good reason and be able to document and explain why it's not done yet. Because that happens a lot in game dev. Go figure. things don't go as planned all the time. So I was basically managing like who's working on what at any given time across the team. That applies to most soft. That's why Jira is very widely used in like any software job. It's a super common platform to use. It's basically like a fancier and more industry standard version of Trello. I think a lot of people are more familiar with Trello. We use Jira where I worked. And most game studios use Jira. It is the industry standard. How long have you been on this mission? I have no idea. Picking up a lot of terminology. Yeah. Sprints, Jira, a lot of it. So like if you've ever if you've ever like followed a game dev on Twitter and you've seen them jokingly tweet something like, hey, fellow devs, be sure to go in and like check off all of your Jira tasks before the weekend. Because I've seen a lot of developers at various studios like randomly tweet that as like a friendly little, hey guys, make sure you do this. It's because that's famously a big issue at studios, especially like AAA, because communication is so important in game dev across bigger teams that it's basically like it's just reliant on everyone always documenting everything on whatever you're using, typically Jira. So that whoever your producers are can go in and look and be like, okay, what is happening across the whole project and be able to keep track of it. It's super important. And a lot of people will like get so into the flow of just doing their shit that they'll forget to actually go in and like mark things as done in Jira. And so then people who are like in my position who are assigning what all needs to get done by when, we have no clue that it's done. And if we don't know that it's done, no one knows. And like that work will be in the new updated build that you grab off of like your version control depot. And no one will know that that change happened. It actually, it happens a lot at really, really big studios. It happens a fuck ton with Call of Duty, where someone doesn't update their Jira. All the Call of Duty studios use Jira, by the way. I know that for a fact. Some dev goes in and like does a patch or a balance change or something that they were supposed to do, but then they don't mark it as complete. And then the patch notes go out and they don't have that change listed because in Jira, it's still not listed as being done. So everyone thinks that it's not in the current build. Patch notes go out, thing is different than it's supposed to be. Some player will notice and say like, hey, they're trying to like stealth change things. They're trying to like patch things without telling us, nerf things without telling us. They're not. It literally just comes down to whatever dev was working on that legitimately forgot to mark it as done. It never got communicated that it was done. So no one knew outside of that one dev until it got into the player's hands. It happens all the time in bigger studios like that. I'm trying to think of an album for Tom as well. It's been a bit of a slower year for music, at least in the music that I listen to. In the metal scene, it's been a bit of a slower year. Seas of Cheese by Primus. That's a great pick, actually. I think, Tom, Seas of Cheese. Get on it. Fuck, yeah, that was a terrible run. Hold on. You know what I'll do? Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna go to my Spotify. I'm gonna tell you as I'm doing it, okay? Tom, I'm memeing. I don't know if he's memeing. I was memeing. There are a couple good songs on that album though, so maybe. I'm gonna hit shuffle on my Spotify, just my liked songs. That's it. Whatever I get, I'm telling Tom that album, because if I like that song, it's probably a solid enough album. I have such a refined taste after all. Tom, you've probably heard this one. If not, this is a great recommendation if you've never listened to it. The Bends from Radiohead. That's what I got. I got a song from The Bends by Radiohead. Have you listened to that already, Tom? Because if not, seriously, you should. I laughed because I was like, okay, he's probably heard this. But that is genuinely a great album, if you haven't. Thinking of listening to Radiohead, that's a really good Radiohead album. Maybe my favorite one. So unironically, go with that. Because I just laughed because I figured you would have heard it. Because, like, Radiohead. But go for it. Holy 71%! That ended up being a good one. I'll take it. Not quite what I was going for. Maybe gonna try to find something a little less known than fucking Radiohead, but sure. Radiohead it is. It's a Radiohead week, I would say. Great week for some Radiohead. My taste is wonky though, so I might just not like them. If you don't like classic, like prime era Radiohead, I just don't think you like rock music at all. Cause what? I'm obviously exaggerating a little bit, but also that's like half a joke. Half serious. I can get, Tom, how are you on metal? I could go and grab you a metal playlist. I could do the same thing for, or sorry, a metal album. I could do the same thing for my metal playlist. How do you feel about metal? We're not talking like your grandpa's metal. We're not talking like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like old school metal that's lighter than what I'm thinking of. We're not talking Metallica. No shade to Metallica. We're talking the good shit, the real good shit, because Metallica is also the good shit, in all fairness. But the real good shit that isn't R&B or hip hop yet. Okay, I'm gonna get you a metal album. Hold on, I'm gonna do the same thing. Hopefully it gives me a good one. Like, in this case, I'm almost hoping for something a little more mainstream. Wah, 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 wah! Fucker. Worth it. I'm not giving you Meshuggah. I am not starting you on Meshuggah. I refuse. I am not gonna try to start you on metal by giving you Meshuggah. No. See, that's maybe a little different. I'm gonna be more selective with this one. What Radiohead? The Bends. The Bends. Iron Maiden is still good. That's maybe a good, like, your grandpa's metal. They're not that old, but like. Chat, where are my metal heads in chat? Is System of a Down a good metal entry point, do you think? I think they would be. They're a little more eccentric for sure. And they've got some heavier tracks on some of their older stuff. But I feel like that's a pretty solid starting point. Tom, write down Mesmerize by System of a Down. They're a little more eccentric and quirky, but go for it. It's a really good album, but System of a Down can be a bit more of an acquired taste. For sure. They're my second favorite metal band. I like their sound a lot. They've grown on me more and more over the years. Genuinely, the older I get, the more I like System of a Down. I used to be like, yeah, they're fine. They've got some songs, but now I'm like, I love System of a Down. Like a lot. I used to listen to a lot of Disturbed when I was younger. Not as much recently. But I used to listen to a lot of Disturbed. MCR is My Chemical Romance. Yeah, there you go. I bet False was an MCR kid. Hold on. I feel like I've asked her this before. She probably was. False definitely gives me the impression that she would have been an MCR kid. I can't be the only one. Sabaton is great. Sabaton's really good. Seeing them get more popular has been awesome. Same with like, seeing Gojira become so popular in recent years has been amazing. I've been a fan of them for a really long time. Like a friend recommended them to me years ago. But seeing them become more recognized and mainstream recently has been awesome. Like the last 5 years or so. Ooh, I flew into it again. The way that I fly in this game is not great. Oh, hold on. I already got a response. Oh, okay. She says, no, I only know one song, and sent a Black Parade gif. But that's one of those songs that, like, if you're False's age, you could not have avoided that song. Like, of course you know it. The Who opened for them. That would actually be a good combo. Listen to Motley Crue. I'm not huge on them, but I've listened to some of them. It might be a band that if I went back to now, I would appreciate more, though. But when I was younger and I listened to them, because everyone was like, oh, they're amazing. All-time greats. I was like, well, they're okay. They're fine, I guess. Seas of Cheese. Okay, Tom, you said you're down for some weird shit. Be warned, Primus, like as weird as System of a Down can get, Primus is going to be the weirdest fucking band you can get recommended to you ever. Which is why I laughed when he said it. That is the weirdest and quirkiest band. I do like some of their shit. It's unique, it's creative, but it's weird. They got some weird shit. In a good way. Good kind of weird shit. Skrillex, Three Doors Down, Breaking Benjamin, Green Day type kid. There's a lot of crossover with me there. Not so much the Skrillex. Kind of the Green Day, but not really. The rest of that, yeah. I was a Three Doors Down, Breaking Benjamin, Disturbed, 3 Days Grace kid. This should keep me busy. Primus is some weird shit. In a good way, sometimes. It's almost sad that Tom isn't going to hear, in my opinion, the weirdest Primus song. At least the weirdest of like their bigger songs. I might just not know a couple of the really weird ones. But My Name is Mud. That shit's weird. In a good way. I have that song on playlist. It's just like, what the fuck is this? Primus has a lot of shit that you hear it and you're like, what am I listening to? But at the same time, you're kind of grooving with it a little bit. My Name is Mud is a classic. Such a weird song. Like, it's one of those songs that I can never explain why I enjoy listening to it. It might just genuinely be because it's such a weird and creative sound. I think that's why I appreciate a lot of Primus. What's that one Primus song? I think it's on Seas of Cheese. Hold on. There's one Primus song that I'm like, this one isn't even that weird. It's just a banger. John the Fisherman. It's not on Seas of Cheese. But that one. That one is not as weird, just straight up, it's a banger. Their bass lines, I think it is, they're pretty carried by their bass. They do have some really good bass. Tom, have you ever listened to a full Chili Peppers album? This is a thought. I didn't have to shuffle for this one. I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, what are good albums to recommend to people? Like albums that if you haven't heard them, I would be like, what the fuck are you even listening to? Have you ever really listened to like Californication, Tom? Red Hot Chili Peppers. Speaking of bass lines, that's what made me think of it. Really any of their albums, but like I would probably, if I were picking one to recommend to someone, probably Californication, right? It's got Other Side on it. It's got Californication on it. Does it have Under the Bridge, or am I crazy? That's the thing I say. God, I said that so much when we were 100%ing the Zelda games. My little quip that I couldn't help but blurt out. No, it's not. My, anytime there was something under a bridge, if I said the words out loud, under the bridge, there would be a short pause, and I would always, without fail, say, like the Chili Peppers. How many times he's gonna die because he's talking to chat? It happens a lot. Also, the plane isn't helping a ton. But it is, I'm reading chat a lot. To be fair, Ace Combat is a game where most of the time you can talk to chat pretty easily. Why did I just stare at that? I think my opener might need to change. Call me crazy. Fuck those cannons. Evanescence. Oh, yeah. What's her name? Amy... Fuck, what is her name? Why can I not think of it? She's incredible, though. Amy... Fuck's sake. I know that I turned Mickle into a big... Lee! Amy Lee! Thank you. Why can I not think of that? Within the last, like, year, I've turned Mickle into a big fan of, Christina Scabia from Lacuna Coil. Her voice is also incredible. Shout out female metal vocalists. Gotta be one of my favorite genders. It's one of my favorite bands ever. I love them so much. I was gonna type it, but 3 other people did. She's great. She's really, really great. Why you guys got me talking about metal? Tom, what did you do? Look what you did. Or I was gonna tell me his thoughts on Primus. If he hates it, I'm cooked. Primus is really... You gotta be in a mood for some Primus. You do. Since you're learning Japanese at all? Not a lot. Some. Mostly... As far as Japanese music, for me, it's actually just a lot of game soundtracks, if nothing else. Not a lot, though. I probably should listen to more. Big Evanescence kid, too. I liked a good bit of Evanescence as well. Growing up. Not as much as, like, the other few that I said. But I was definitely also listening... Oh, fuck. That was the plane. Definitely also listening to some Evanescence. I'm writing all your names next to the albums like a hit list. That's a great idea, actually. Hold on. Sorry, I'm thinking. Okay, Tom. Since you're writing down names, I'm gonna give you one. But you're gonna need to make an extra note here. I have to pick an album from this band. Hold on, because I have to look. I'm sorry. I have to look beforehand. You have to make a note that this is my most out there pick. And really, I always just recommend this band to people because, like, purely because of the vocalist. It's Lorna Shore. Chat. It's Lorna Shore. Probably Pain Remains from Lorna Shore. Purely because Will Ramos cannot be human. Like, genuinely, wholeheartedly, he cannot be human. I've glazed this dude before so many times on stream. Because, wowza. It's mind-boggling. And, like, the fact that he has no vocal scarring. Zero vocal scarring. It makes no sense. Put a note next to it. It's really out there. It is not entry-level metal, but you gotta hear that guy's voice. The vocalist, in my opinion, he is the most talented metal vocalist I think I've ever heard. Watch the video of him getting scoped. Yeah, he has zero vocal scarring, which is insane. Most metal vocalists have at least a moderate amount of vocal scarring. Because, duh. The fact that he has that voice and has never once injured it in his life is crazy. And him just sitting in that office being like, oh yeah, you want to hear the pig scream? Does the pig scream. He's like, oh, I call this one the tea kettle. And then he hits like this inhumanly high-pitched scream. That is legitimately like a tea kettle. And he just can casually do it. Like, with numbing agents in his nose and throat, with a camera stuck down there. He's just like, oh yeah, you want to hear the tea kettle? Here. Does it. And it's crazy. He's actually mind-blowing. I showed a buddy of mine who's not even into metal all that much. Well, he's been getting into metal. My influence catches up to everyone eventually. Give it time. Because you'll hear me say all this shit, and slowly, eventually, I'll get you interested enough in something that you'll check it out and you'll go, oh, this is kind of cool. Some serious pips. Pipes, I'm assuming. But yeah, it's Will Ramos he can't be human. He can't be. He doesn't have my favorite scream by any means, but he has some of the most, like probably the most impressive vocal techniques I've ever heard in my life. This is the run chat. I feel it. Hold on. Maybe I can lock it in. I'm pretty basic, as you might have noticed. Yeah. Over time, getting into the more like out there and like eccentric stuff is just, a lot of the time you have to build up to it or just get recommended it by someone and be like, oh, this is kind of cool. Lorna Shore is crazy though. It's really heavy for like that's why I say it's not a good entry level probably. And it is a bit more like eccentric, but god damn, he's so impressive. It's crazy. Hard style. Come on. The fuck was that sound? You guys hear that? Am I crazy? What was that? Who said 1X Black Sabbath? 1X was Sentai, Black Sabbath was Yurika. There, I didn't see that one come up. But there. 1X probably is the best 3 Days Grace album. I was like, what would I have recommended from 3 Days Grace? But I probably would have chosen 1X, if anything. That's an album with very few misses. Tekken 8 wasn't nominated for Best Soundtrack? Why'd you have to point this out? I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. What do you mean it wasn't nominated for Best Soundtrack? Oh. Hold on. Was it actually not? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, no, that was never gonna hit. They nominated freaking Silent Hill 2. Oh, Jeff Keighley. We're gonna have it out. I mean, we're not. I want to have a civil, respectful discussion. That is all. That is all. Nothing more. Nothing less. Fuck. Maybe. What's it to you? Grabs frying pan. Bro, how in this year? Honestly, like Tekken 8's soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks I've heard like so far in the 2020s. The fuck you mean it didn't even get nominated? Thank you, Amir, for the sub. Appreciate it. Oop. I think Stellar Blade should win. Bro. Nope, I won't. I was gonna pull up. I was gonna pull up a Tekken 8 video to showcase. I was gonna pull up a character trailer to showcase the soundtrack, even just a little bit, but I won't. I won't. Maybe when I finish this level, if I'm still hung up on this. There's no way. There's no way that that's not the best OST this year. Not a fucking chance, bucko. I flew up into it a little bit. Miss. Miss. Fuck. How crazy Halo Infinite's multiplayer music was. Halo Infinite had a great soundtrack. Really, really good. Just all around. Some of the campaign music is also really damn good. Like there's a track from the campaign that I have on Spotify playlists. It's called something like What Makes Us Human. It's something along those lines. And that's like peak Halo music. Infinite had a great soundtrack. No one talked about it, but it did. Then again, Halo 4 has one of my favorite Halo soundtracks, so that's certainly a spicier opinion of mine. I could back it up. I don't feel the need to right now unless I get pushed on it. But Halo 4 has one of my favorite Halo soundtracks. Breaking Benjamin. Did you know that that exact song is what broke up the band? Blow Me Away from Halo 2 is the song that led to Breaking Benjamin breaking up. Some fun rock band lore for ya. Doesn't fit Halo at all? You're crazy. You're crazy. Especially when it has the best version of the Never Surrender track. I said what I said because it's true. And also the theme that they wrote for Chief for that game that then was also his theme in Halo 5. Actually, I think it was the Blue Team theme in Halo 5. But that theme, I think it's called 117, is also beautiful. Like that alone is one of my favorite Halo tracks. Don't you even start with Halo killed the boomer shooter. The boomer shooters were dying regardless. Don't even. Don't you spread this shit in my chat. That sounded like Avengers music. A lot of Halo 5 stuff does sound like Avengers music. Which is why I'm not huge on a lot of Halo 5 stuff. Halo 4 had such a good sound though. It was a boomer shooter. Only one of the greatest gaming genres. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I'm gonna agree with you. I wasn't going to, but then I remembered like just the sheer amount of enjoyment I've gotten out of Halo over the years, even though I'm a bit more lukewarm on it like right now. No, that is a trade I'm willing to make too. Fuck me sideways. Yeah, the modern military shooters, shit like Medal of Honor, the old school Call of Duties, like pre-COD 4. Although COD 4 was the nail in the coffin for the boomer shooter, absolutely. But it was a process that had been going on for like damn near a decade at that point. Yeah, boomer shooter is like, think like a 90s FPS pretty much. Just most of any of them that came out in the 90s. If you think like, I'm not gonna say Half-Life, because Half-Life is very much its own thing. I wouldn't lump it in. Some people do, a lot of people do actually, I wouldn't. I think Half-Life is too different from like core boomer shooter design. But if you think like Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein, Shadow Warrior, Duke Nukem, Blood, any of that, that's a boomer shooter. If you just think of like FPS, like modern FPS pretty much, that's modern military shooter primarily. I guess nowadays maybe a lot of people think of like Valorant and shit. As soon as I said that, I was like, wait a minute. But if you think, if you think FPS, I would assume you're thinking of like Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff like that first, right? Most people, I think, will at least. Or maybe that's just me being old. Where does Stalker fall? Grimdark Eurojank. My favorite genre, my subgenre of shooter. I'm kind of exaggerating, but God, I love Stalker. By the way, Stalker 2 is like actually coming out. Which is wild. I was a CSGO kid. COD is not an FPS. Bro, what? A lot of game genres are not as literal as their name would make them out to be. But FPS and TPS are some of the few genres that are that literal. Like, it's literally, is it a shooter game with a first-person camera? It's a first-person shooter. Like, it's that simple. Now, it's much more broad than that. Obviously, there's a lot more nuance beyond that. But that's where subgenres come in. Although even then you could argue that FPS is a subgenre. So then we're getting into subgenres of subgenres. But that's a whole other thing. I would just say FPS, because of how broad it is and how many subgenres exist within it, that's just genre. That's not subgenre anymore. For sake of convenience, if nothing else. Full transparency. Holy shit, that thing was tracking me. Try Arma. I'm a big milsim or like tactical FPS guy. I love Arma. I've been meaning to play Squad for a long time. I'm really just waiting for it to go on sale and be like 20 bucks or less. Because I want to play Squad. Although to be honest with you, I mostly want to play Squad because I want to play the Clone Wars mod. I'll keep it a buck. That's the primary reason I'm looking to pick up Squad on a sale. Full transparency. Do people just not care for that magazine? No, Daikatana, we don't talk about Daikatana in this house. I'm one of the people psychotic enough to have actually played Daikatana. We do not talk about it in this house. We don't. Okay? Thank you. I need to find my buddy Superfly. Or what is it? It's something like that. Something about my buddy Superfly. Holy fuck. Look 100 times more fun than they actually are to play. No, you just got to get out of your Doomer brain. Or Zoomer brain, not Doomer. Two different things. Zoomer. They're so fun.
We've made
You just gotta chill out. You gotta enjoy the tension, the tactics. It's not Milsim, but genuinely, like, my favorite indie game, or Vampire Survivors exists. One of my favorite indie games of the last couple of years is still Ready or Not. I fucking love Ready or Not. Aside from that recent DLC bullshit they pulled, love Ready or Not so much. Such a fun game. Goated game, so fun. Bro, okay, I've talked about it before, primarily because whenever my Steam flashes up on screen, people always notice it and call it out. My HoloCure completion journey that I've just been doing like over the last year or so on my own time when I occasionally go to plug away at it. Because HoloCure is filling my Vampire Survivors shaped hole in my heart, even though I don't watch VTubers. It's just a really fun Vampire Survivors-like game. I just saw, as I flipped to it the other day, like randomly thinking about maybe playing it a little bit. Apparently, the creator just dropped a huge update on it and added like 40 more achievements or something to the game. So I've gone from having one achievement left that's like 40 hours long to get it done, to apparently having that and then a ton of other shit to do as well. So, fuck me. But also, there's a ton more stuff to do, so maybe I'm not gonna be that upset once I actually do go back and play it a bit. $220 achievements for what? Vampire Survivors or HoloCure? If that's your question, legitimately, Vampire Survivors, I don't care what anyone else tells you, because some people will say, no, that's not right. Vampire Survivors is a game that you play to get the achievements. That's why you play the game. That is the fun part of the game. Because also every achievement in Vampire Survivors is tied to an in-game unlock. So every time you get an achievement, you also unlock something new in like the roguelike formula to play around with. And then those things lead into other achievements. And it snowballs, and you just keep going. And next thing you know, you've played it for like 7 hours straight. And when you close your eyes to go to sleep at night, you're seeing the gems fly into the center of the screen. Right? Anyone who's played Vampire Survivors, agree with me on the closed eyes thing. I know it's not just me. I know it's not just me. When you go to sleep that night after playing a bunch of Vampire Survivors, you just see the gems flying towards the center, like the experience gems. Right? I know this is a universal experience. So, someone's gonna be like, yep, had it. And it's not even just Vampire Survivors. It's also like Halls of Torment is the same thing. HoloCure is the same thing. It's that whole subgenre of roguelike. Whatever we're calling it. I don't think there's really a name for it yet. I've just been saying like Vampire Survivors-like. HoloCure is free. I might try it out. Bro, HoloCure is really good. Vampire Survivors is also $5, and if you wait for sale, it's like $1. Or $2 at worst. It's like if you play Tetris too much. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. You play, I would say even if you play for like 2 hours in a day on Vampire Survivors, I get the gem thing. I see King Bibles around me. King Bible user. Most overrated item. I'm kind of joking, but also. garlic, Santa water, and lightning ring. Lightning ring, my beloved. There are a few items in roguelikes that are as satisfying as Vampire Survivors, like, evolved lightning ring. What's HoloCure again? It's literally Vampire Survivors, but Japanese VTubers. That's it. Like, it was originally just a fan game for the, the HoloLive, like, corporation of VTubers. It was legit just like a little fan game that this guy made, but it was so good that not only did, like, every VTuber within the corporation start streaming it and playing it live, but it just kind of has now spread to being a big roguelike indie game where you got people like me where I'm like, I don't even watch these people, but this game is fucking fun. It's English. Oh, are some of them also English? Are there that many English talents? Because there's like 50 characters in that game. There's no way there are that many in just the English branch, unless it's way bigger than I thought. I was under the impression that they were way more selective than that. Oh God. I saw were English. It's probably just all the branches then, I would have to guess. Just because there are like 50 characters. There are a few English branches. Okay. A lot of English? How many of them are English? I'm gonna go start up the Benz. The Benz is a good starting point. But no, legit, if you ever play any like Vampire Survivors, like, in my opinion, you should just go for the achievements, because that's where the most fun part of the game is. It gives you something to do every single run, and then if you do it, you get like an unlock that carries over to your next run, and it's a whole loop. You fall into it so easily. That's where the real addiction factor comes in my opinion. Oh, okay. I've already gotten the mastery on all of them. The big achievement that I'm working on is the one where you have to get like the character mastery, whatever it's called in the game, for every single character. So you have to do like 4 or 5 runs if you're optimizing it. If not, it's going to be more than 4 or 5 complete runs with every character. It's like the one giant achievement right at the end that really grinds the game to a halt. I have figured out how to optimize it to where I can do it in like 4 to 6 games with each character. But that's still, there's like 50 characters. Going off the character list, the ones I know. Oh, come on. There's a stealth plane still. There's another one. Yeah, there it is. I've said it before, though. It's funny that, like, I can now recognize some of the HoloLive VTubers because of HoloCure. Like, if I see them pop up anywhere, I'm like, oh, it's that one that has, like, the, I don't know, like, the leaf blade weapon. Or whatever it is. In HoloCure. Or the die, the dice weapon. There's one, dude, that character's fun. I can't remember their name. But there's a character in HoloCure where their weapon is like a die, and whatever the die rolls when you throw it, like it's a projectile, but whatever it rolls also affects the damage. So it's RNG on every single attack. But then they also, like, their whole shtick is crit damage through all their abilities and stuff. So if you level them up well throughout your game, you can start doing fuck tons of damage on, like, crits and everything. Like, the whole character is RNG centric, and it's so fun. That's a fun ass character. I do recommend HoloCure because it's good and it's free. You can literally just download it and play it.
Griswold's been liberated.
$30 or less
With the laws
controller
of their
recommendation.
central command, LASAF forces have begun to pull out of Aurelia. The
Go to
streets
60
of
and get the
Griswold
King
are
Kong. I'm telling you,
overflowing
man,
with
it's
citizens
worth it.
celebrating the defeat of the
Just
LASAF
do it.
oppressors.
Don't get a cheap
Even
controller.
soldiers have joined
No
in
one
the
likes a cheap
celebration.
controller.
Sir, the people won't soon
If you can
forget
get
your
30
brave
bucks,
actions that led us here.
Get 60
We've
bucks.
done it, sir.
Save twice as much. Save another $30. And just do it right. This bad boy right here never breaks. At least not yet. Not in my experience. Yet. It might break at some point. I'm also not sponsored, so they gotta pay for me to say that shit. But for a controller to have survived more than a year in my hands is very high praise. With the way that I burn through controllers normally. Very high praise. Like, if you know, you know. The way that I demolish controllers in a short amount of time somehow. I don't know how. Just by playing, I'm like, oh, I've used this controller for 6 months. Thumbstick's fucked. Face button's fucked. Bumper's fucked. Something. It only ever takes me like 5 or 6 months to break a controller normally. This thing's lasted more than a year. So, it's worth it.
December 10th, several days after the liberation of Griswold, I made my way towards one of the many cities busy recovering from the ravages of the war. Despite my usual misgivings,
Never broken a
I could feel
controller?
myself getting
You're crazy.
excited at the prospect of meeting the Southern Cross.
Especially, I've heard what you do to those thumbsticks. It's a fucking miracle. You do have drift, though. It's only a matter of time.
That today was their first break in a while.
Only, I've seen your controller drift. I've seen the stick drift.
I merely watched as the jet's contrail stretched far
You have
into
it,
the
but
distant sky.
9 times out of 10, the dead zones in the games are saving you right now.
The misappropriated financial and material resources were on a scale.
Well, that's
much
definitely a
greater
ticking
than
time
the
bomb for you at this
fortress
point.
alone
That
could
controller
account
you're
for.
using.
Would the
It's only a
weapon
matter of
Griswold
time.
prove to be the missing piece to the puzzle?
It's the smallest drift ever. Yeah, but once drift starts, it's only a matter of time. And it's kind of inevitable on component thumbsticks, so it's not like it's specific to that controller or anything. It's just once you start to see it, it's not going to take long for the drift to go beyond the point of standard dead zones, and you're going to start to feel it in like every game you play. And when your thumbstick is like constantly inputting to the right or something random like that, it makes games pretty unplayable on that thumbstick. You can fix it, but then the fix is normally only a temporary fix too. I abuse my controller with respect. I'm just an intense gamer, I guess. I must just like be, I don't know. I must just have real strong hands. But then, I don't know. I don't think I do. I mean, I do. I'm a big, strong man. But like,
The forces hunting LASAF commander
not to the point where just
Diego
using a controller normally for me
decimated
should be like
Lantern Strait.
smashing it.
It appears that LASAF has developed a new
Because I don't
type
break
of
guitar
attack
string.
aircraft.
I do replace my guitar
I
strings
believe
pretty
they have
often
working
though.
prototype from the aerial fortress.
So I probably
Back
just
to the
replace
report.
them before I snap them, to
The
be
new
fair.
attack aircraft is
I'm a
named
big finger
Fenrir,
picking guy on
according to
guitar. It's my
LASAF
preferred way to
reports.
play these days.
From the satellite intel gathered, it appears that the aircraft took off from
I don't think you
Sentry
do.
Island. We received information from intelligence services that there appears to be a
gonna-
factory on the island. There are 2 routes to Sentry Island.
I don't know what missions I need to do here.
LASAF has a squadron of ace pilots.
Just
The
not?
Alex
Yeah.
Squadron,
Don't.
situated near the Dannern Straits. They are currently headed for Sentry Island. If a pilot of that caliber were to pilot the new
Likes
craft,
to use his
we would
fingers.
have
Hey,
a
I'm a
lot of
handy
trouble on
guy.
our hands.
Like hands.
Another route is Cobalt Cave, the location of enemy research.
And I
facilities.
actually am a pretty handy guy, to
It
be
is
fair.
believed that they are preparing to move some
I took
sort of
residential
weapon.
construction. I used to fix
don't
my
know
own
the
AC
details,
unit
but
in
it is
my
most likely
in my
the
Florida
weapons to
apartment
mount
where it
the
would
generator.
break like once a month. I used to fix it myself.
The 8 pilots and the unknown weapon are both major concerns, but we can only
It was
deal with
specifically
one
I
of
had to
these
fix my
threats.
HVAC. It would go out like
You
every
must
month. It was a
stop
pain in the
whatever
ass.
LASAF is planned. You are about to enter LASAF territory. We don't have much intel to go on.
I normally don't
but
like
you need
albums
to
on a
decide
first
how
listen.
to
I feel like that's
proceed.
most music for me. I always, you know, I give a song a few chances over a few days. Because I feel like with a lot of songs, they aren't like at their best until you've kind of gotten the rhythm in your head somewhat and you can like follow it. You know what I mean? My free mission. Looking at DS4s right now. DS4s are solid. My PS4 controller lasted me a long time. Probably the longest any controller's ever lasted me. Ah, 12C. That's such a pain in the ass. To have to do a third run just for 12C. I guess I can do normal ranks along the way. That'll help. That'll make it efficient. I need 13B, 14A, 15B. Yeah. We're doing 14A and then the other two. Oh, for fuck. No. 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 I feel like those things were invincible for me. Actually, yeah, my 360 controller, both of them back in the day, probably did last longer. I haven't bought a 360 controller since like really getting into PC and stuff though, because fuck that D-pad. Like personally, whoever designed that D-pad, I hope you got fired for that. Because what was that? Joking, of course, for the record. I just hated that
We
D-pad.
have learned that LASAF is using Cobalt Cave to secretly conduct tests on a new weapon. Intelligence states that the weapon is to be mounted to the
DS4 controllers do have pretty bad battery life. Nowhere near as bad as the DualSense battery life, though. Holy shit.
and is moving the operation
Holy
to
shit.
Archelon Fortress.
The PS5 controller's battery life is so bad.
But we need to put an end to its development ASAP. Simply destroying the transport frigates won't suffice. You must also destroy all warehouses on the island.
Are the PS3 controllers Hal effect? What? Hold on.
Are loaded with explosive chemicals. Fly up
Am I
and
only
out
just
as soon
finding
as
out
you
about
hit a
this?
warehouse,
There's no way.
Or you'll be caught in the ensuing explosion. During the mission, Allied amphibious units will be deployed to the island to gather intel
Is that true?
for the upcoming assault on Archelon Fortress.
Certain models. Oh. Definitely not my PS3 controllers. My PS3 controllers are fucked. And it's one of those controllers where I'm like, yeah, replacing these is not my biggest priority, especially because looking on... I googled the controller, they go for like 15 bucks on Amazon. So if I ever do need one for some reason, like specifically, I can get one. Are they really? Oh. It seems like the very first batch of PS3s had them around 2006 to 2007, but they then dropped it. Can't say for sure, though. Oh. So very few that are like out there in the wild, especially nowadays. But yeah. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just reading at this point. I'm curious. apparently this guy found an article from 2008 where he opened up like a new from the store, like from the factory controller, and it did not have the Hall effect sensors. So yeah, it seems like the first couple years of PS3 controllers had them, and then they stopped doing it. This drift stuff is intentional. It is 100%. Like, it's not like super cracked out conspiracy either. Some people think it's like super tinfoil hat to say that stick drift is intentional, but it's absolutely not. Or sorry. Oh, it's not tinfoil hat. Yeah, that was right. For a second, I was like, did I just say that it's... Yeah. It's not tinfoil hat to say that. It's 100% by design. Like, Hall effect aren't more expensive in any meaningful way at this point. It's legitimately, they're just sticking with old component thumbsticks because then they eventually break pretty much no matter what, and you have to buy a new, like, $60 controller. And especially on... like proprietary manufacturers like Sony, Microsoft, etc. It's intentional for them because, you know, you're gonna buy the same Xbox controller, the same DualSense, whatever. Now, the DualSense's thumbsticks being so horribly shit, that's probably not like extra intentional. It could be though. I won't rule it out, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that them being more shit than usual was probably not intended. It could have been, though. Then they were not? Huh. Good old friend of capitalism. Planned obsolescence. Yes. My favorite. It works. Okay, it is just one. Oh, that fucking hurt. Did I miss that during the briefing? Oh, I'm taking you with me. Beautiful. Works every time. Works every time. I might not complete the mission, but I take them out. Early models were pretty unstable. Probably also helps that it was cheaper, but yeah. I've said it before and I will say it again until eventually I manage to have some effect on the overall, way that this system is remembered. The PS3 was kind of a piece of shit. I need to keep saying it. I feel obligated every time. It had some really cool stuff that it could do. But in general, like, what were they cooking with that one? The PS3 was like the Xbox One, but not that extreme. Just a gen earlier. Not as extreme and just one gen too soon. Not a console war guy, by the way. Grew up with both. Just flipped back and forth, depending on what gen it was. That marks an X on my bingo card? No way. Is PS3 was a piece of shit on the bingo card? I missed that one. Is that on there? It was a piece of shit. Fuck the PS3. It can be on the bingo card. Doesn't change anything. If it's not, that should be on there. That's actually funny. Because I do say that a lot. Oh.
What's that? There are any ships down there. Should we attack? Forget about them for now. We've got to take care of those fighters first. I missed.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Shit. Hold on. Just a hater of the PS3, yes, and the Xbox One. And both the PS5 and the Series X. And that's about it. I like most other consoles. Oh, and no. No. Just those. No, and the Switch. I was like, no, I'm kind of mixed on the Switch, but I'll throw it in there. And the Switch. The Switch mostly just because Nintendo cheaped out so hard, and it frustrates me, because Nintendo. Although the Switch, to be fair, for what its primary purpose was, is not that bad. It's just, it's cheap as fuck. And it pisses me off. The Switch absolutely has suffered from a lifespan that it has been way longer than it should have been. Like nowadays, I feel like a lot of people hate on the Switch because it's just, it shouldn't have stuck around this long. It needed an update sooner than 2025, right? Way sooner. I still haven't seen Alita Battle Angel, by the way. Every time I hear about it, people say that it was awesome, and I still haven't seen it. How bad is the battery life in the DS5? It's really bad. Hold on, I missed that until just now, sorry. What if I just Google that? How bad is the battery life in the PS5 controller? It's a pretty fair, like a common, okay. Well. It depends on when you're asking. Because the advertised battery life on the DualSense is between 6 and 12 hours. And when you first get it, that's probably true. The issue with most Sony controllers going way back to the PS3 is that the battery burns out really fast. Maybe the PS2 had the same issue. I just don't really remember having that much of an issue with my PS2. I first remember that really being a problem on PS3, and it's just been a consistent Sony problem. Metalhead is saying 3 hours. This dude on Reddit is saying like 3 or 4 hours. Oh, here's a good thread. Hold on, speaking of, here's a great thread. How long does your PS5 controller battery last? I'm looking for people who have like actual figures. Depends on the game. The ones that make better use of the rumble and triggers won't last as long. Maybe like 4 hours. This thread has very few people throwing actual numbers out. A lot of them are just saying, not very long. Oh. This article apparently did a survey. And on average in the survey, they mostly found people reported between 3 and 6 hours of battery life. Oh, that's right. PS2 was still wired. Duh. I was like, I don't remember the PS2 really having that issue. That's why. Same reason I don't remember the PS1 having that issue. You didn't have to point that out now. Oh, actually, it's probably better that you pointed it out. I would have felt really silly if someone like commented on the VOD. It was like, brother. Was that DS4? That was 5. That was 5. My PS4 controller's battery life was really bad near the end of me using it. Like, I exclusively played wired because the battery life was so shit. Because the PS4 actually, those controllers Bluetooth really well on Windows. At least on Windows 10, they did. I I'm still on Windows 10 to this day. I haven't gone to 11, so I can't speak for everyone, but I actually used my Bluetooth functionality on my PS4 controller quite a bit because the Bluetooth was pretty good. But then the battery burned out, and I flat out gave up on playing wireless. I just started playing only wired because the battery life was so short. Lasts like 20 minutes on battery now. I don't think mine was that bad, but I think mine was like only a few hours. I always play wired on PC. I pretty much do nowadays. The Bluetooth with the King Kong 2 on Windows 10 is really shit, actually. I said before, it's one of like the few things that's really bad about this controller, in my opinion. At least for PC users like me, it's an issue. The Bluetooth is just awful. So I only play wired on this thing. Constantly disconnecting and reconnecting. Yeah, I had that problem near the end of... I think that's actually the main reason I stopped using my PS4 controller. Was that the port was just so shot, too. There's always... Wait, your monitor has USB ports? Micro USB is ass. Thank God we moved on for the most part. I say for the most part because some controllers, especially third party, still haven't. But generally we've moved on. It's not the standard anymore, thankfully.
That was a huge explosion. We can feel the blast all the way over here. What kind of explosives are those?
A USB-C mod of the DS4. That would be pretty nice, actually. Because, yeah, I feel like every controller I've ever owned with micro USB, that port has worn out pretty easily.
If the warehouses are destroyed, that's it for us. All guns, fire artillery barrage. Don't let the enemy get close.
I think my wireless headphones are probably micro USB. I don't know. I don't use them wireless ever, so I couldn't tell you.
There are any ships down there. Should we attack? Forget about them for now. We've got to take care of the fighters first.
They probably are, though. I've had these headphones for so long.
Going to be blown sky high. A freighter was destroyed in the warehouse explosion.
No.
Griffith 1, come in. Oh no,
Fuck.
he's been shot down.
This game on Ace. I'm starting to see why people said these things about Ace Combat X and its difficulty. Michael USB headsets.
Enemy freighters before they escape over the eastern border.
Yeah, this is micro USB.
Don't get caught up in the explosion when destroying the warehouses. We don't know how large they'll be yet.
Razer headset. Razer headset detected. I'm kind of joking. I don't really hate them that much. I just personally wouldn't. It's not a Razer thing though. To clarify, I'm probably more positive on Razer products than most PC gamers out there. I don't like gamer headsets at all. Because like the microphone quality has gotten better, but it's still kind of ass. And to be fair, this is also from a PC perspective. Before I get it, console is different. Before anyone says it. Before anyone says it. Console's different. On PC, for the same price I could buy a gamer headset. I could buy an actual microphone. Like even a cheap one, like a Snowball, that's gonna sound better than the little gamer headset one. And just plug that in with USB. I could buy like actual good headphones with way better sound quality than like gamer headsets have, because holy shit. even like the nice gamer headsets, bro, they just, all that they do to be like better for gaming is they boost the fuck out of the bass. Like if you use them back to back, you'll notice it. Just how hard they boost the fuck out of the bass in those headsets. I don't like them. I don't like them. I am a like standard microphone and standard headphone guy, although I'm a music nerd and now YouTube guy. So to be fair, my audio setup is a lot more expensive than a standard gamer headset. I've got like studio headphones from being a gamer nerd, and because I started doing a lot of more like voiceover heavy stuff for YouTube, I bought a nicer microphone. But for like the average person, I'm like, yeah, dude, if you just get like a Snowball, which are dirt cheap these days, that sounds better than a standard mic like on a gamer headset. And if you just get like, I don't know, $30 headphones, they probably sound better than the gamer headset headphones. USB mic or an interface. I'm on a USB mic. I'm an Elgato guy. Unapologetically an Elgato guy. They make such good shit. I use the Elgato Wave 3. It's a little bit out of date, but it's a great microphone. Because USB mics, like in their actual software, are nowhere near as customizable as using an interface. But the upside with them is A, convenience, no shit. But B, with things like OBS or Audacity or whatever you're using to record your audio, you can do all the customization stuff in there. Like you can just apply it to your mic. It puts a little bit of input lag on your mic, but then you just adjust. I mean, for doing videos, it doesn't matter if there's a little bit of like input lag. But what's it? For stream, like for me streaming, I just also put a tiny bit of delay on everything else, and it's all synced up. It works beautifully. Sounds fine. I couldn't tell. My mic is like, I would say, with direct streamer friend comparison, I would say that my mic in videos and on streams sounds about the same as like False's in terms of quality and stuff. And she uses like what's it? She uses an interface. She uses like a professional mic with an interface and everything, compared to me using like the most professional USB mic, because Elgato is kind of the industry standard for content creation peripherals in a lot of categories. Not microphones yet. They might get there someday. I don't think they will, but they could. They could. But when it comes to like lighting, like studio lights, I have Elgato lights because they're standard. I think they're starting to try to get into cameras. I don't know how their cameras are at all. I haven't looked. I don't have an Elgato camera. My boom arm is Elgato as well. Not just because it's a great boom arm, but also because it's like the wave mics. Or sorry, the boom arm is made with the wave mics in mind as well. But in general, this Elgato boom arm is one of the best on the market. I can slap the shit out of my desk and you get like nothing from it. You'll hear the sound of my hand hitting the desk, but you don't get like the boom boom, like the vibration sound on the arm. You get none of that. I could do an example, a presentation. When does False stream? If you're in Europe, in the middle of the night. If you're in the West, well, I guess time zone. She streams. It depends on the day. I have to think. On Wednesday and Thursday, she starts at, hold on, I got this. No one needs to help me. I know this. I just need a minute. She starts at 7 p.m. EST. And on Fridays and Saturdays, she starts at 8 p.m. EST. Sundays, she sometimes streams, and those start times are a little wonky. I don't think they're super consistent, at least. In my brain, they don't feel consistent. But maybe that's because Sunday streams themselves for her are not consistent. And then Monday and Tuesday, she doesn't stream. Unless she randomly wants to do a bonus stream any given week. Who clenched? Did I get any clenchers? Any clenchers in chat on that one? I clenched. I scared the shit out of myself with that one. That's when I know that I scared someone in chat. A lot of the time it's on purpose. Sometimes like there, it's not, but I'm too far in. So I'm just like, I gotta commit to it. I gotta stick with it. But that was not intentional. I did not mean to do that one. Or that. Or that. Fuck. Fellow EST. I am not EST. But she is. And EST, I feel like in Europe is the easiest time zone to adjust and try to like base it off of. Because it's the closest to you. Never seen a false stream. She has like a professional mic and a great setup. A friend of hers who's really good with audio stuff helped her configure everything. So it sounds good. And I'm just like, yeah, my mic sounds really good on stream. Where there is some inconsistency with me content-wise is that when I'm using Discord, my filters do not apply. I normally don't care that much, but when I'm on like False's stream, for example, then I'm like, yeah, my mic sounds worse than usual because it doesn't have all of my configuration applied to it through Discord. It's just the raw, like, default settings that the microphone comes with because I've done all my configuration in OBS and Audacity, respectively. So when I'm on other people's shit, my mic sounds worse than it does on my channel, but I don't care that much. Anyway, it is about that time. That's a bad note to end on. I crashed into the mountain. Turned a little too hard, but I was worried about the explosion in my defense. It is about that time though, and I got shit to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a sub. Come back another time. We're doing this. We're doing the other 100%s like Armored Core, Resident Evil, Metal Gear, Yakuza. We're doing a whole lot of shit. Come back for any of it. I play COD once in a blue moon just because I feel like it. And BO6 is actually really fun, so I've been doing it more now, but that's besides the point. I shouldn't need anything with the bingo. Like, because it's in Discord, I don't think I'm going to yoink it one-to-one. I'm going to use it as a base, is the better way to put it. I got plans for that. Maybe. Probably. Unless I ditch those, but I think I got plans. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh, like stream if you enjoyed, because algorithm, smiley face. Also, if you're looking for links to anything outside of YouTube to engage with the community, check out links in the description below. Things like Twitter, Discord server, whatever. Those are down there. Other than that, though, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see all of you guys back here next time. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming to the stream, and goodbye.